Good morning. Please come in, take your seats, and a very warm welcome to day 2 of the European Pulse Forum. Forgive us rushing you, we have a very packed day, and our events team are eager that we allow enough time for everybody to speak. So we're going to get started and just have people come in as they settle. I'm Kate Day, Senior Executive Editor for Politico in Europe. And today, our Politico journalists and the B. Bartlett team will dive into the policy issues facing Europe. How can we make energy more secure and affordable? What does the future of European security look like? How should policymakers approach the upcoming transformation brought by AI? These are questions that are core to our coverage across Europe today, and as we expand into Spain, we'll increasingly tackle how they relate to policy questions here. Before we dig into today's session, we would like to thank our partners for making this forum possible. Our leading partner, Mueve, presenting partners, Generalitat de Catalunya, Ajuntament de Barcelona, FPA, Redea, and Google, and our networking partner, the Cassia Foundation. As I said yesterday, here at Politico, we love a debate, so please share your thoughts. In the room, there'll be opportunities for questions, and also online. X, Blue Sky, LinkedIn, wherever you like, we don't mind, but please use the hashtag European Pulse Forum 2026. I'd like to hand over the stage to Nacho Corredor from our partner organization, B. Bartlett, to give some welcoming remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. We are doing a great job these days in Barcelona. Bon dia, buenos días, bonjour, guten morgen, buongiorno, good morning, everyone. Thank you all. Thank you, Major Collboni. Today, Barcelona is the capital of the European Union, maybe, no? Over 40 global speakers, 10 nationalities, 500 attendees, and 80 media outlets are with us today here in Cosmocaixa, here in Barcelona. We are here to bridge the gap between citizens, institutions, and businesses. My generation is the first generation of Spaniards born in the European Union. Today, the professionals at B. Bartlett stand together with Politico, and our goal is to help European institutions make good decisions, working hand in hand with businesses and citizens at a defining moment for the world. Today, we will present the results of one of the most ambitious studies conducted in Europe in recent years. Over 30 questions, 7,000 interviews, representing 2/3 of European citizens, to find out what we must do in defense, energy, innovation, technology, or inequality. We will do this alongside my experts, colleagues at B. Bartlett, and world-class panel with the Vice Presidents of the European Commission, Teresa Ribera and Stéphane Séjourné, with the Prime Minister of Spain, Pedro Sánchez, and the President of Spanish People's Party, Alberto Núñez Feijóo, with the Estonian Minister, Cristina Kallas, with one of the most pro-European institutional leaders in our country, Salvador Illa, and alongside experts from European academia. And together with business leaders whom I also want to thank for their commitment. Thank you, Martin Wetziller from Mueve. Thank you, Beatriz Corredor from Redea. Thank you, Fina Llados from FP and Pharma Industria. Merci beaucoup, Benoit Tavaca from Google. And thank you to Josep Maria Coronas and Sergi Logni from La Caixa Foundation. Thank you for supporting an initiative that aims to lead from knowledge, mobilize society, and build agreements. From Spain, we want to drive the progress the European Union needs now. So, this year marks 40 years since Spain became part of the European family. It has taken 4 decades to reach this milestone, where a leading European media outlet and a Spanish firm like Vivarlet joined forces to set the international agenda right here from Barcelona. It took 40 years to prove that we are no longer just following the European conversation. Politico and Vivarlet have teamed up to be architects of a new reality. Today, Barcelona maybe is the European capital. Today, we are finally closer to Europe. And thanks, Jamil Anderlini, Kate, and our colleagues from Politico. Thank you, Adrian, and friends from Vivarlet. Thank you all. Perhaps in a few years, when our generation assumes the leadership of a world-leading Europe, we will be able to say that it all started today in Barcelona, hand in hand with Politico and Vivarlet. And now, we begin the first edition of the European Pulse Forum with the Mayor of Barcelona. Jaume, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone, dear friends from Politico and from Vivarlet, Kate, Nacho, authorities, amics y amigues, bon dia a tothom, buenos dias. Welcome to Barcelona. First of all, I want to thank Politico and Vivarlet for organizing a forum of such relevance and magnitude in Barcelona. Yesterday, we already witnessed the initial results of the European Pulse Pool, and today you have an impressive lineup of speakers. Today, Barcelona becomes the European capital of debate, of dialogue, of reflection of the direction in which the European Union should be moving towards. And we become so thanks for the vision of Politico and Vivarlet, to fresh, modern, and innovative companies that are committed to bringing new ideas and new ways of doing things into the public debate. Innovation, openness, and dynamism are also the key values of the Barcelona of 2026, a city that defines itself as a vibrant, cosmopolitan, and rooted in a strong local identity. A city that is back to the globalist scene with a singular way of doing things. Because Barcelona has decided to put its global capacity at the service, at its local identity and its citizens, defining human rights around the world and civil and social rights in our country. That's why we balance events such as this one, where the city becomes a global reference. Barcelona, nowadays, has a clear path to guarantee the right to stay for Barcelonians in their city. It can be reduced in one question. You have done many things to guarantee the right to move freely around Europe. But what about the right to stay where one lives? This man's comment has become my main political priority as mayor of Barcelona. Why? Because he's right. The European Union is the best instrument to guarantee peace, democracy, and freedom of movements that humanity has never created before. But it is an instrument that, even with its enormous success, needs improvements. In fact, your poll shows that 80% of Europeans are not satisfied with the cost of life, for instance. So, for us as the cities, believe that one of the most important improvements is guaranteeing the right of citizens to stay where they are born, to stay where they live. Because we must admit, there are forces expelling our neighbors from our cities, Forces such as the increasing price of housing, the lack of economic opportunities, or speculative practices with our dwellings. Forces that threaten the social cohesion of our communities and that erode the democratic legitimacy of our institutions. And we, the cities, are at the front of the fight against such forces. We, the cities, are the truly transformational powers capable of bringing optimism to our neighbors. Because there is no better way to fight populism than bringing hope in the future. This hope in the future in Barcelona is called guaranteeing the right to stay in our city. This means three things to us: guaranteeing a place to live with affordable housing, guaranteeing a safe and excellent public space, guaranteeing economic opportunities where the people live. There is no possible future if we cannot bring economic prosperity in our cities. But as relevant as what we do here in Barcelona is what we do abroad, in Brussels and elsewhere. Because when Barcelona speaks, the world listens. And today, Barcelona is a beacon of hope against populism. Barcelona is a beacon of hope against racism and xenophobia. Barcelona is a beacon of hope in peace against war. Because Barcelona is back. Barcelona is back in Europe to defend citizens' rights as the right to affordable housing. Nowadays, Barcelona leads the alliance of cities that is having a greatest impact in Brussels, Mayors for Housing. Because over the past year, 20 European cities have worked successfully to achieve, for the very first time, a Commission strategy to promote affordable housing. And we are currently working to ensure that the housing plan that the Commission presented in December becomes a tangible reality for our citizens. Barcelona today, and myself, holds the Vice Presidency of Eurocities and plays a prominent role in the Committee of Regions defending the right to housing. And for 2 weeks now, Barcelona is permanently present in Brussels with our representation to the European Union. In fact, we are the first Spanish city to have a permanent representation in Brussels, and we are very proud of it. And we have a plan to continue leading the voice of cities in the EU. Also, last week, we presented in Brussels, in front of some of you, a plan that defines our priorities, housing, funds for local authorities, and a truly ambitious agenda for cities, and set out certain instruments to achieve them. We do all of this because we know our place in the world. We stood in Budapest to stand beside Mayor Caraccioni in celebration of Pride. We stood in Istanbul in solidarity with my counterpart, Mayor Imamoglu, before the very prison where he is unjustly held. And to give institutional form to our commitment to Palestine, we have reclaimed Barcelona's 11th district, the cities of Palestine, in support of the reconstruction of Bethlehem, Ramallah, or the city of Gaza. We have now ceased in our support to the Ukrainian people who continue to endure the siege and aggression of Putin's imperialist regime. So Barcelona is today a moral beacon of the values of democracy, tolerance, and freedom. In fact, in the next week, Barcelona will become the epicenter of global progressism, hosting the Global Progressive Mobilization, an assembly in which mayors and prime ministers from all around the world will join together to our shared resolve to continue leading with hope and optimism towards the future. Finally, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney delivered a celebrated speech at the World Economic Forum in Davos. He says something that I fully share. Nostalgia is not a strategy. Barcelona is today a city that looks to the future with optimism and ambition. Barcelona is today a city that looks at Europe with optimism and ambition. Because today, for us, the future continues to be Europe. Thank you all for making it possible. Welcome to Barcelona. Bienvenidos a Barcelona. Benvinguts a Barcelona.